This week parasha is Parashat Kitisa. The issue is for the Fashtema of all of the sick people in the community. The parasha talks about the chet of Egel, sin of Egel. Now, it's very interesting, Rashi. I just wanted to share with you, Rashi, what he says on the parasha. In other words, let's go to the page 257. Right, page 257. 257. Sheni. Parashat Kitisa. פרק ל"א, פסוק י"ח. פרק ל"א, פסוק י"ח, or sheni. Right, Moshe Kartor Davido Bar Sinai, Shlo Davido, Luchot Elim Kituim Betzvay Elokim. Hashem gave Moshe Rabbeinu Shnei Luchot, and Vayar Ha'am Ki Boshesh Moshe Laredeh. The people saw that Moshe delayed to come. Vayichayir Ha'am Al Haru Vayom Le'elav Qum Aseh Lanu Elohim Asher Yilchu Lefanenu. Ki Zeh Moshe Asher Eino Meresayim Lo Yadanu Ma Yalo. They told him that come and make the people came to Aharon and they told him get up and make an egel for us because we don't know what happened to Moshe Rabbeinu. And they urged Aharon to make, and Aharon thought that meanwhile I make them busy till Moshe Rabbeinu comes because Moshe Rabbeinu delayed. Now Chachamim tell us that what happened that the Hal Israel made such a great mistake in the history of the Hal Israel that changed the destiny of the Hal Israel. What was the mistake? Now Rashi says very important nekuda that is very important in our avodat Hashem. In other words, what makes a person to do such a great sin? A lot of times we feel that a person has to be very cruel, or a person has to be very, very, very unknowledgeable, and he should be so wicked to do such a sin. Now Chazal tell us, no, it doesn't take that much. Now Chazal says, با حساتان و ایر به بیت هاولام و هیرا دمود خوشخ و افلا و اربوبیا و بر ودای مشه یکیخ با اربوبیا لولام. In other words, what did Satan do? Satan came and he showed the coffin of Moshe Rabbeinu. The coffin of Moshe Rabbeinu, and people thought that Moshe Rabbeinu died, was niftar. با ساتان و ایر به بیت هاولام و هیرا دمود خوش و افلا به اربوبیا. Interesting that, in other words, we don't need such a wickedness to do such great sin. What we need is like this. وإیر به بیت هاولام creates confusion. و هیرا دمود خوشخ و افلا به اربوبیا. And he showed darkness, afela ve اربوبیا, and confusion. Things are mixed up. Lumar vadai met Moshe ulkach ba اربوبیا لعولام. They thought that for sure Moshe died, that's why there's a confusion in the world. Therefore, through that, he got them to do whatever that he wants them to do. See, as long as the mind is working, the person is processing, thinking, he will not get in a trap of Yetzer Hara, in such a vicious act, such a, avodah zarah. But when a person feels confused, then everything is going to happen. Therefore, now, what's Torah teaching us? The parasha is parasha avodah zarah. Torah is telling us, we would say that the parasha is telling us we should run away from avodah zarah. If you see some place there's the advertisement of avodah zarah, get away from avodah zarah. You might follow avodah zarah. But Torah is not telling us that. When Rashi is telling us, Torah is telling us that Rashi is teaching us we should get away from confusion in life. Confusion in life is like an idol. It leads to an idol. Confusion in life causes a person to lose his family, to lose his relationship, to lose his olam haba, to lose everything. Confusion is a very great enemy of a person. Because once a person is confused, then Yetzer Hara could lead him to wherever that he wants. In other words, once somebody said, what does confusion in life means? Imagine a car is coming down from a road in mountain. That the road is a crooked road, up and down and down, and steering wheel doesn't work. You cannot control the car. The car could go any place. You feel the danger of it. You understand that how dangerous it could be. Person could hit, could go down, right? Could get off of the road very easily. That's a confused person. Confused person means that process of thinking, that's the steering wheel of a person that is being lost. Therefore, we make the things very, very ready for Satan to take us wherever that he wants to take us. Therefore, what's the remedy? What's the remedy that we should take ourselves from confusion? In other words, especially nowadays, we are living a life. Life is not so simple anymore. So what's the life? The simplicity of life was easy to handle the puzzles of life. Now, any subject that you touch almost, a person is very confused. A person is confused how to deal with our children. What type of schooling, what type of attitude, should I be soft with him, should I be rough with him? Person has a lot of confusion with his wife. How should I do it? Should I give in there, should not give in, should we do this, that? No, the life is a very confusing life. Therefore, what's the remedy? How should we get out of it? One point is like this, that a person has to understand that's the most important thing that Torah is teaching us, and we hear it from here. Person has to know that the confusion is going to cost you more. If you get out of it, you're gonna gain much more. Because while there is a confusion, while we don't have direction, we're gonna suffer more. We're gonna damage ourselves in a way that then to fix it would be very hard. To fix it, not like over here, the Har Israel, they damage themselves in a way. Nadu Chazal tell us, before Eger, by Har Sinai, they got to the level of Adam Arishon before the Chet, before the sin. And through Eger, through Golden Calf, they got back after the Chet. In other words, the same idea, the same thing. In other words, just like Adam Harishon got Irbuvia, the same thing. Harishon got confused also. Nachash came and confused Adam Harishon. Here also Satan came and confused these people. Confusion is very dangerous. Person has to get out of it. And I think the first and the most important thing is to know when you get out of confusion, then that in itself is the greatest winning point. Therefore, we should try to get out of it. Not that, a lot of times we are confused about something and we drag it, goes and goes. You tell him, I have somebody that's had some issue, I tell him what happened, nothing. 5 months passed, nothing. 6 months passed, years passed, nothing. Because this nekuda that Torah is telling us, this point that Torah is telling us, in other words, a year ago, if we would have done something about it, the relationship were fresh. It was very easy to fix it up, to do things. Now, after a year of confusing to do this way or that way, got bumpy, got rough. Now there are frictions. Now it's much harder. Therefore, we're gonna lose at the end much more. Therefore, as soon as possible, a person has to get out of confusion. Now, getting out of confusion in life, everybody needs a mentor. The greatest Rosh Yeshiva in the world needs a mentor when he gets to when he's confused and he doesn't know how to go. The Gemara says, very interesting point. The Gemara says, a prison, somebody, they put him in prison, he cannot save himself out of prison. Very interesting idea, the Gemara. The Gemara is pointing out, no matter how much knowledge you have, no matter how much money you have, no matter how smart you are, how much wisdom you have, but if you are in prison, the money doesn't help, the wisdom doesn't help, nothing helps. Somebody from outside should come and get you out. Here also same thing. Confusion is like prison. Person feels that there is no way to go. And a lot of times on highway, we do it. We get confused between road. We go. Says, after a while, you see 2-3 hours you are away from the destination that you have to go. Therefore, best thing is, I'm telling myself, the best thing is the first exit you go out, you find out the right destination and you go. But you don't want to spend a little bit time. And then get it off. You say, okay, we find it. And a lot of times you find yourself that, you wasted your time, you wasted your energy, and you made a long distance between the place that you have to go. You have to go back now. This is life. Life also is a traveling. And if you find the right destination, right place, then therefore a person, no matter where you are, what you are need a mentor in your life. Having a mentor would make a person, to find his own way, find the things that he has to. And now, who is the mentor? Who is the right mentor? If the person knows you, doesn't know your family, doesn't know your wife, if he makes a decision for your family, is crime, it's criminal. Because how could you decide for somebody just knowing the man? You have to know the wife, you have to know the children, you have to know the dynamic of that person, and you have to know him. In other words, nowadays we have to know. A person has to, and you have to be very honest with him. You have to tell him all of the information. If you cover a piece of puzzle and you tell him, and he has to decide for you, you are lost because he cannot make it. The psychology of a person is very interesting. It's very complicated. A little bit could change the person, could change all of the workshop of a person. Therefore, you have to trust him and tell him whatever that you have to tell him. But above all, a mentor has to know. The Mishnah says, "Marbe etza, marbe tevuna." Very interesting Mishnah in our book. The Mishnah says, "Marbe etza." What does etza mean? Advice. Who gets advice? Somebody is confused. Comes and gets advice. Now, while he's confused, he cannot move. Now, once you increase advice, what's going to happen to you? Marbe maisin. You're going to increase your act, you're going to move, you're going to do. But the Mishnah doesn't say marbe etza, marbe maisin. The Mishnah doesn't say somebody who increases advice is going to increase his move and his act. The Mishnah says somebody who increases etza, advice, marbe tevuna. What does tevuna mean? It's going to increase his understanding. No, Mefarshim Levyhayim Walajon asks, why did he say increases tevuna? Should say increases maisin, act, he's going to move. The Levyhayim Walajon says the Mishnah is teaching us a very important point, that the job of a mentor is not to tell people what to do. Because you have to understand, at the end of the day, nobody is in your complete mind and complete setting to know what's the best thing for you. The best mentor is somebody who could upgrade your knowledge and understanding. So the person is confused about something. Why? Because there's a lack of understanding of the subjects, how to weigh them. This is more important or this is more important. My mother-in-law is more important or my wife. My mother, my son is more important or my wife. Is it important that you should do this? That means confusion. They are pulling you on directions, and you don't know which way you should be pulled over. Now, a good mentor, what does he do? He breaks down the things for you. He makes your understanding to be more. Once you understand better and more, then you decide what you want to do. That's why the Mishnah says, "Marbe etza, marbe tevuna." Therefore, if we learn something from this parasha of Eker, Gatam it so badly, we learn that we should have a mentor confusion makes a person to be over to do crime at home, to do crime in anything, in any levels of his life. Therefore, the best and the most important thing is that the person should have a mentor.